How you doing? Check, check. Ah, there it is. You ready to do this? All right, let's go. Living in the borderland, I don't feel like a boy, I don't feel like a man. In the things I don't understand, the things like love, like the law of the jungle. Are we all animals? Are we all animals, sharpening our teeth and claws, stocking up on cannonballs? Living like nobody knows, it can't hold on to love and live by the law of the jungle. Hey, give it up for my brother-in-law over here.
Help me, holy Jesus, won't you show me how to live? I got monsters at my table, I got Bibles bent like sheets. Help me, holy Lord, I see the light of heaven's porch, but so many of us are born here outside,
Living in the borderland. You're gonna fight like a boy, gonna run like a man. Living in the borderland. You gotta take what you get just to get what you can. Are we all dangerous? Are we all dangerous? Lost boys sure enough, pockets full of fairy dust. The suffering, the wanderlust, they all get crushed without love. By the law of the jungle. Help me, holy Jesus, won't you show me how to live? I got monsters at my table, I got Bibles bent like ships. Help me, holy Lord, I see the light of heaven's porch, but so many of us are born here outside, living in the borderland. You gotta fight like a boy, gotta run like a man. Living in the borderland. You gotta take what you get just to get what you can. But you can't hold on to love. You can't hold on. You can't hold on to love. If you're gonna try and live, if you're gonna try and live by the law of the jungle. Sometimes a song changes over time, right? It doesn't mean something different as much as it means something more. 3 years in a row, I got invited to play an event in El Paso, Texas on the 4th of July. And if you don't know, the 4th of July is the American celebration of the beginning of our country It's a celebration of the nation, and if you also don't know, El Paso is right on the border of Mexico. And from the stage, I could see Mexico from the stage. Only a short time before, a photograph appeared in the news. It was a father holding his daughter. The two of them had drowned together trying to cross the river, trying to get from Mexico into the United States. And here I am, from the hotel to the festival. I rode on a road named Borderland Road. And I stood up and I walked out on the stage. And I played this song, Borderland. And as I stood there, I thought about this idea that a friend of mine had. This idea, a thing a friend of mine had told me about it. He said, you know, when we read Bible stories, we're always David, we're never Goliath, right? We're always the Israelites, and we're never the Philistines. But if you were a Christian dad and you felt like you had no option but to bring your child into my country, and you were so desperate you were willing to swim and risk your life and the life of your children, even though so many are turned away and so many come in looking for help and their families are divided and they put their children in cages. At that moment, are we the Israelites, or are we the Philistines? Are we the giants in the land that need to be conquered? I'm not here to answer that question for you. I'm just here to ask. I will never play this song and not think about that experience. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. My name is John Martin McMillan. All right, we got all emo right away. I'm an emotional person. I'm sorry. You really need to feel sorry for my wife, though. She has to deal with this. I deal with allergies, especially in the spring. I'm feeling great right now. If I'm sneezy, it's because I was almost crying there. It's going to make me sing awesome. I'm sure you can understand the sarcasm. British people understand sarcasm. I appreciate that greatly. Actually, I don't appreciate that. But I deal with allergies, and it's frustrating because I'm a singer, or I'm trying to be a singer. These ladies are singers. I'm trying to be a singer. When you have one job and you can't do it because of the flowers, you know, it's really frustrating. I was writing a song and I had the door open. It was the springtime and the weather had been cold and was feeling nice. I could hear the birds singing, and you could smell the sweet smells of spring and people mowing their grass and doing things in the yard. And I'm writing this song, and I feel the allergy jump on my face. You feel it in your nose, and you feel the thing go down your throat, and you're like, well, I guess I'm not going to sing for a month. And I thought, God, it would just be so great if spring would not come this year. That would be really, really helpful for me if spring would not happen. But I realized no matter what I thought, no matter how hard I tried, I was not going to prevent the birds from singing I was not going to prevent the flowers from blooming. I was not going to prevent animals from having new animals, right? I was not going to prevent people from falling in love. I was not going to prevent the spring from happening. And in that moment, something in my mind shifted. I thought, oh my gosh, nothing is going to stop life from happening. I was like, life actually wins. Life is actually winning now. And I was like, life is like a juggernaut. It's like no matter how hard it is, no matter what happens, no matter how fragile we are, life seems like a very fragile thing, but it's actually not. Life is actually more powerful than death. And in that moment, with my nasty voice, I wrote this song, and it's called Juggernaut. Trees and spring without permission rages on again. The ruckus that she brings, a juggernaut stimulating, merciless in a show of power. Life is heavy but it just won't stop. Life is fragile but it won't give up. It cries for us. Listen to the voice of your maker now. Hear the one who calls to all you don't know how to be good now. Life is heavy but it just won't stop. Life is fragile but it won't give up. Everywhere I see the hot parade of light and the oblivion, the spectacle careens, a juggernaut relentless and unstoppable in a show of force. Life is heavy but it just won't stop. Life is fragile but it won't give up. It cries for us. Listen to the voice of your maker now. Hear the one that calls to all you don't know how to be but now. This next song's called Enemy Love. Sometimes you can't make it on your own. I don't trust a fool, I don't trust myself, and I don't wanna bother you with all of my doubt and regret. I said I wouldn't bury you, and I promise that I'm doing my best, but I think I'm losing my head, losing my head. A heaven in a China girl, a heaven in an empty dress, heaven in 3 white birds, heaven in an empty nest. I said I wouldn't miss 1 minute, said I wouldn't buckle under stress, but I think I'm losing my head, losing my head. Oh Christ, do you wake my ghost? Sometimes it seems impossible. Did you give your body up to forge my trust? Did you give your body up just to suffer for my savage love? We got dreams and there are things, you know, I thought that I wanted, but now it seems like they don't mean to me as much as I thought. And not that I'm being ungrateful, I know what I hold in my hands, but I think I'm losing my head, losing my head. Oh Christ, do you wake my ghost? Well, sometimes it seems impossible. Did you give your body up to forge my trust? Did you give your body up just to suffer for my savage love? Sometimes it seems impossible. Did you give your body up to forge my trust? Did you give your body up just to suffer for my savage love? My savage love, my savage love, my savage love. Thank you. How many of you know that love also creates conflict? They don't teach you that part in school or in church. So there's a lot of time you love a lot of things, and you got to figure out how to love. Loving isn't the problem. It's figuring out how to do it and what to love. That's the problem. I think that A lot of times we feel like our loves are handed to us, but a lot of the things we think, well, they are, they are handed to us. I think a lot of us think that our loves just sort of happen from the inside out, when the truth is a lot of what we think and desire is handed to us from the outside, you know, and believe me, there are loves in me I cannot control that are huge, you know, but also I'm learning that one of the keys to life is learning how to love what's good. Is learning how to love what's good. And learning how to organize my loves. That's not cool or exciting to talk about. But I've always had this desire in my whole life to reach out, to extend myself beyond the boundaries that I know and to push into the unknown. And it's been a fascinating life. It brings me here today to be with you, but I love the road. I love the travel. I love the people. I love the food. I love the new places. I love this whole idea of conquering and going from city to city and doing these shows and building and growing, you know, pioneer type stuff, pirate type stuff, you know? And the camaraderie is great, you know? I get to do it with people I love, you know? But my wife and I started a family, right? You know, and we have these wild loves at home now. And I would leave, and it'd be too much love for my wife to deal with on her own. You know, and here I am faced now with two loves to contend with. One love of what I do, of what I create, of where I go, of my love of the conquest, my love of the ministry, my love of, you know, and then that love begins to compete with my love at home. And all of a sudden I had this idea, this whole idea of these, I created a word. I call it Wilderlove. The Wilderlove is this thing inside of us that drives us forward. But there is a thing that there are things we can do to, gosh, this sounds so old, to tame the loves. Actually, no. I realized something. I had a revelation. I realized that the greatest adventures happen at home. And that oftentimes being out on the road, I was missing out on some pretty incredible adventures. And that in love and in my family, there is I could travel the entire world over and over, but I would never exhaust the depths and the places that I can go with these little crazy people that live in my house. This song used to be cool until I explained it. It was called Wilderlove. From the Badlands as a child, where the dust devils dance on the dreams of the ivy wild. The places you grow up, the tumbling ground is rough. There is no domestic heart. So what have we become? Just pedestrian. There is no domestic heart. I'm the Wilderlove is hidden within us, and we reckon with it, we wrestle with it, and the Wilderlove is hidden within us, and we wrestle with it, we wrestle with it.
To the rise of your vast expanse. And I feel so underdressed, so civilized and small by the powers that you possess.
The places you grow up, the tumbling ground is rough. There is no domestic heart. What have we become? Just pedestrian. There is no domestic heart. And the Wilderlove is hidden within us. And we wrestle with it. We wrestle with it. And the Wilderlove is hidden within us. And we wrestle with it. We wrestle with it. And the Wilderlove is hidden within us. We wrestle with it. We wrestle with it. And the Wilderlove is hidden within us. And we wrestle with it. We wrestle with it. Upon the Badlands as a child, where the dust devils dance on the dreams of the ivy wild. Well, thank you. Hey, give it up for Zach Looper on the guitar over here, super taster Looper. Jeremy Radio playing the bass guitar. Dominique the Wizard Gerald's playing the drums. Give it up. My brother-in-law, Stephen Jude Moses Williams back here. My beautiful wife, Sarah McMillan, singing with us. And the lovely ladies. We need a name for this choir. Does the barn choir sound good? I don't know. There's something better than I'll think of a better name by the end of the night. Give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. I know, and who would have thought Wilderlove was about a dad who loved his kids but still wanted to go to the pub with his friends? I don't know. So I am a dad, and I'm turning 40 next week. I've been having weird thoughts. First I thought they were old thoughts, and I realized I've always had weird thoughts. So it's not old thoughts, just weird thoughts. I'm not getting older, I'm just getting weirder. I started thinking about the universe and how the universe is mostly empty space. Am I right? All right, we've got an astrophysicist here. It helps. As people are like, no, you're full of it, JM. I'm like, no, I promise. The universe is mostly empty space. Most of the universe is nothing. And the parts of the universe that are something are very, very small. Think of it this way. From where you're standing right now, if you looked in any direction for millions, maybe billions, maybe trillions of light years, you would probably not find anything. If you're lucky, maybe you'd run into like a planet or a star or some gas, you know. But generally speaking, the space between all those things is so massive that most of the world, there's nothing at all. I started thinking about this. in a universe where most of it is nothing, you guys are something, right? I am something. We are something. Where there is mostly nothing, we are something. So number one, you are in no way, shape, or form remotely insignificant or common. There is nothing common about you. So not only would you not find much of anything out in the universe, there probably is life out there, let's just be honest, but that's even more difficult to find than even just simple matter, right? Like, so not only do you exist, so you won the cosmic lottery, like, first of all, by existing, right? Number two, you're actually alive in a situation, in a universe where most things are not alive. You are alive. I am alive. And here's something else to think about. Most people who ever lived are dead. But you're not. You won the cosmic lottery 3 times in a row. Can you calculate the odds? No. The odds are staggering against all odds. We exist, you and I, all the living people exist on this blue speck that is suspended in the black abyss of nothing. And if you got just a click, just a half a click away from that blue speck, the universe would kill you instantly. So where most of the universe would kill you, almost anywhere you go in the universe, you will die instantly. I mean, we'll die here too, but you will die instantly anywhere else in the universe. We are here. Let that sink in for a minute. So not only do you exist in the only place you could exist, and while most people are dead, you are alive, right? And we're here right now to experience that. Your life is a wink, but it is a miracle of a wink. I'm not trying to discount the afterlife. I'm gonna let Jesus deal with that part of it. I'm talking about the part I can deal with, which is this part now. Your life, my life, is, by my definition, a miracle. A miracle. And I've done a lot of thinking over the last several weeks about what I want to do with my miracle. Do I want to sleep through my miracle? Do I want to waste my miracle on anger and resentment? Do I want to tap out and just walk like a zombie from the beginning to the end of my blink of a miracle? Or do I want to fully engage with the miracle that is my life? I'm most interested in the last one. And I think there's a word for that. And that word, in my opinion, is gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of seeing the universe correctly. And this song is called Bright Abyss. It's new. I'll try not to mess up the words, okay? We spark off, glitter into the night, hours before dawn's recurring light. So comes the abyss, but the abyss, she is bright. Whoever told you there was something wrong with you, like you just weren't right? Whoever said that there was something missing deep down inside your life? Whoever told you that you needed something that you didn't have? Made you feel like you were fractured and your head was bare. We break off, flicker into the dark, dim on the a god, and you spend your whole life suspended in the great beyond. Even science says we were made from the dust of the dying stars. So does that mean when heaven dies that it comes to us? So what's John Mark doing talking about science in a worship song? As a child, especially the first 10 years of my life, I was obsessed with two things: Star Wars and my mom. And the greatest thing that had ever happened was the release of The Return of the Jedi. It's the greatest film among films, and it was a legend, and kind of the Bible to a 6-year-old. Except for the Bible, it was also the Bible. But Luke Skywalker was the first person I saw that I thought, oh, he's good, I want to be like him. Looking back, he struggled with things I didn't understand. The dark side of the Force, insecurity. Kind of had a whiny voice too. Parsecs and power converters and all, but he had a laser sword, which I thought he could have done more with it too, but I was obsessed with it all, the laser sword. Darth Vader and his 16 minutes of screen time spread throughout 3 films that made him the greatest villain of all time because you didn't see him very often. I was obsessed with the Death Star. C-3PO. I used to eat 3PO cereal, 3POs, C-3PO's cereal. Cut the mask out of the back of the box. I don't know if you had C-3POs here. I did. They're basically like Panda Puffs and shaped like 3PO. But was also obsessed and continue to this day to be obsessed with the forest moon of Endor. And the reason I'm continually obsessed with the forest moon is A, the Ewoks are cute, and B, parts of the forest moon are real. It's always a downer when you realize something you loved is not real. Rudolph and Santa Claus are not real. Darth Vader is not real. But the trees on the forest moon of Endor exist to this day in Northern California and parts of Oregon. And I was obsessed. I'm continually obsessed. And I dreamed that one day I would go and see these trees. And if you don't understand American geography, which you have no reason to, unless you live there, you would understand that a flight to California is 6 hours from my hometown. A flight here was 8. So that's how far I lived from the trees growing up, and I wanted my whole life to see the trees. And in my mid to late 20s, first time we toured down through Oregon into Northern California, I saw a redwood for the first time, and it blew my mind. And none of the locals cared much for it because apparently it actually wasn't a big one. And I got a chance to see the big ones. If you don't know much about redwoods or giant sequoias, let me explain it this way. They have stumps that are big enough to drive an American car through. They're wider than this room, and they grow to 250 feet tall. And it is one of God's great cathedrals to walk through these trees. It is absolutely mind-blowing, earth-shattering to know that a living thing is that big. I think General Sherman in the giant forest is the largest living thing on the planet. Right? And I thought, as far away as these trees are, it would be really cool to bring one home and plant one, And I thought about it. I thought, well, maybe they don't grow very well in North Carolina, and maybe they don't, but they do sell them, and I've read that they can grow other places. But I realized very quickly, as I thought about purchasing the little sapling and taking it home, I thought about this at the last minute. How fast do they grow? And apparently they grow 1 foot a year. Right? 1 foot a year. What that means is that if I live to be 100, that tree would not be interesting the day I died. I would have to live to be 250 years old to see a 250-foot tree that I planted. So I left the sapling in the forest to be planted by someone with more vision than I. A couple of years ago, it was New Year's Eve, and a friend of mine sent me this poem. If you don't have friends who send you poems, you need one. A friend of mine sent me this poem. I'd like to recite the whole thing to you, but I won't. I'll tell you this one line. It's stuck with me and sticks to me now. Plant sequoias. Plant sequoias. And maybe it's because I'm getting older, or maybe it's because I'm getting weirder, or maybe it's because I've always been weird. Maybe I've always been old. Or maybe old is normal and you start weird. I don't know. But I began to think about how cool it would be to bring a bunch of saplings over and plant them all. And there would be a forest that was interesting when I died, but not very impressive. But my grandchildren, when they were old, they'd get to see like 100-foot tree. And their grandchildren would get to experience the full glory of a redwood forest in their backyard that they didn't have to fly 6 hours or drive 4 days to see. And this concept stuck with me. And I started to apply it to other things. What would it be like to dream beyond the limits of my mortal life? What would it be like to have a 1,000-year dream? You should think about it. Do you have a 1,000-year dream? Can you dream 1,000 years out? Can you dream 1,000 days out? What's a 1,000-year dream look like? It looks like my children. It looks like doing things for poor communities to change the momentum of their lives and the lives of their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And it looks like leaving the world in an awesome place for all the people who come after me. Not even because it's the right thing to do, just because it's beautiful. This song is called The Road, the Rocks, and the Weeds, and it's about the parable of the sower. And it's about sequoias. Come down from the stars, show your human scars. Tell me what it's like to believe through my Christ-haunted thoughts that the losses you bought are the nights that you peopled with your dreams. when I've got no answers for heartbreaks or cancers, but a Savior who suffers them with me. Singing goodbye, Olympus, the heart of my Maker. It's spread out on the road, the rocks and the weeds. Come down from your mountain, your high-rise apartment, and tell me of the God you know who bleeds, and what to tell my daughter when she asks so many questions, and I fail to feel her heaviness with peace. Well, I've got no answers for hurt knees or cancers, but a Savior who suffers them with me. Singing goodbye, Olympus, the heart of my Maker. It's spread out on the road, the rocks and the weeds. And Aphrodite would not weep, and Zeus would suffer for the weak, but have you come to stand inside my pain? And all the things I begged you for, eternity and evermore, are hidden with me here beneath the rain. The rain. Shall I plant sequoias and revel in the soil for a crop I know I'll never live to reap? Then sow my body to my Maker and my heart unto my Savior. Spread me on the road. Spread me on the road. Thank you. I told you I get weepy. Yeah, we're emo all the time here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my life. High highs and low lows.
And you descend upon me like a rolling stone, like a black swan raging over all that I know. And you know it unnerves me when I lose control, and I'm all out of options, and I'm out of my head, and I build my life around someone who I thought that I was, but it turns out all the things I do to feel young, they only make me old. But you raise me like a baby, like a fiery phoenix bird. Oh, and you lift me up like Lazarus. You love me like death in reverse.
You unearth me like a vein of gold with powers that drive up flowers from the fold. You cast me uncursed, unearth my body and my soul, like fire from my ashes, like fire from my coals. And I build my life around someone who I thought that I was, but it turns out all the things I do to feel young, they only make me old. But you raised me like a baby, like a fiery phoenix bird. Oh, and you lift me up like Lazarus. You love me like death. You love me like death. You love me like death in reverse. I don't know, okay, I've never told this story before because it's so unbelievable. I'm just gonna tell it. I promise I'm not crazy. This is exactly how it happened. I was sitting out on my porch one night and I wrote this, he is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane, I am a tree, bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. Right? Just that little part. And I had it sitting around for a while. A friend of mine came over and we hung out. I hadn't seen him in a long time. He was busy with a job and a new girlfriend and busy with a job and breaking up, and I was not busy, not with a girlfriend and not really breaking up. Actually, I was. No, I'm the one who's busy with a girlfriend and breaking up and getting back together. And he was the one who's busy with a job.
Not me.
It's not her. Needless to say, we hadn't seen each other in a while. And we were both really busy. He came over to the house one night, just randomly, just knocked on the door to see if I was home. And we were gonna go do something, and we never did. We just sat around and talked all night long. When we were younger, we used to call it black holing, where we would go and hang out at one of our houses and sit around and think of something to do and not end up actually doing anything because we couldn't decide. But we had fun anyway because we were together. We hadn't done that in a long time, and he came over, and we just totally black holed. We got caught in the black hole of not knowing what to do, and we had such a good time. I played him the beginning of that song, and he said, "That's my favorite song you've ever written." I was like, "That's not a song, bro, that's a line." He says, "No, it's my favorite song I've ever written. It's gonna make you famous." I said, "Well, number one, that's not a song. Number two, I'm not gonna be famous. So you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're wrong, and you're wrong." And that night, he walked off the porch, he got in his car, and then before he opened the door, he looked over and said, "I love you, man." I said, "I love you too." We were young dudes, so saying I love you is not a thing we did on a regular basis. But that night it felt right. He drove off. I never saw him again. And they called me. I was down in Florida. He was in a car accident. And all I knew is he was in an accident. He'd been hurt really bad. No one would tell us any details. Turns out they were waiting for his parents to come. They were out of town and waiting for his parents to come to tell them first that he had passed away. I fell asleep with the light on, waiting for a phone call, and then the phone call came in and he was gone. And I couldn't sleep. So I sat down and opened up my little journal. And I decided this little line that wasn't a song, that I didn't think was that great anyway, because I'm blind and stupid to those kind of things. I thought, well, I'm going to finish it for you. Good night, everybody. Okay. I'm going to finish it for him. And I did. And it turns out was a good song. It kind of made me famous. It also reached across the whole world, and they recorded this song in many, many different languages. And the fingerprints of my friend are right there on the song. And it was his dream to go to the entire world. As long as I'd known him, it was his dream to go to the entire world and to tell them that God loved them. He always told me, I'm going to die a martyr one day. I'm like, shut up, Steve. You are not going to die a martyr. I'm not saying he's a martyr, but I'm saying what was in his heart, he actually was able to accomplish in a small way. Through this song, it's called How He Loves. You're going to have to sing it with me because I'm messed up. Jealous for me, love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us all. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us all. And he is our prize, drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If his grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. So heaven meets earth like a sloppy wet kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. And I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how guys so much. You shouldn't ask me to talk, because then I cry, and then I can't sing. You guys doing all right? A river of gladness fill my soul. Jesus, you're my greatest thought. God, I know. I see the light. I see the lightning. I hear your voice inside the cracking thunder, singing, nothing stands between us, oh, nothing stands between us but love now. Oh, nothing stands between us, oh, nothing stands between us but love. Spirit of gladness, take control. There's a cup of joy for every taste of sorrow. I see the light. I see the lightning. I hear your voice inside the cracking thunder, singing, nothing stands between us. Oh, nothing stands between us but love. Nothing stands between us, nothing stands between us but love now. Oh, nothing stands between us, oh, nothing stands between us but love.
man, what an honor it is to be here with you guys, to be a part of this place. It's pretty epic, and we're really grateful to be here with y'all. So I'm one of 6 kids. This is one of my brothers back here. We call them 2 litters. I'm in the top, and then he's in the second litter. And we had a pretty, what I would think, idyllic upbringing. You know, our parents were believers, and we grew up on a farm with animals and got to roam and do all the things that kids love to do. And, you know, it was when I look back on it, I think of it as pretty magical. And one of my clearest memories is, y'all know Keith Green. Keith Green, make it over here. My dad putting on a Keith Green record many times. It was like our childhood soundtrack. And putting on a Keith Green record, and I would just, at like 6, 7, 8 years old, just start dancing in the living room. Because I would be, okay, I'm a cry too. There's my, but I would just feel something, and I would just respond. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know that wasn't maybe the most normal thing for a little girl to do. And but I knew my dad loved it. Oh man, he loved it. And so that's that feeling of responding to God's presence and knowing that stayed with me my whole life. And yeah, it was beautiful. So, but about maybe 10 years ago now, 9, 10 years ago, my parents, after about okay, I can do this. About 38 years of marriage, decided they didn't want to be married anymore. And, you know, I was grown. I had a kid in my first child, but it really wrecked my whole world, and I felt like maybe everything was a farce. Maybe that feeling of the presence of the Lord that had followed me, maybe that was a farce too. And so in that time period, I wrestled with that. And this next song that we're going to do, King of My Heart, came from that. And I like people to know that, because I know the song sounds all happy, joy, joy. But it really, it was my line in the sand that, yes, that wasn't the same anymore. But what I knew of God was still good, and he was still good. And yeah, some things change, but some things don't. And I'm really grateful for that. So I would be really honored if y'all would sing this next song with me. Thanks. Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. 'Cause you are good, good. Oh, 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 let the King of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor
You're never gonna let me down. 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 'Cause you're good, you're good. Oh, you're good, you're good. Oh, you're good, you're good. Oh, you're good, you're good. And when the night is on to me, God is holding on. And when the night is holding on to me, God is holding on. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. I just want to thank you guys so much. Seriously, what a dream come true to be here with you guys tonight. 15-year-old me would never imagine. 21-year-old me would never imagine. I'll ask 40-year-old me next week. This is Death in His Grave, and I'm gonna let Steven kick this one off.
Though the earth cried out for blood, satisfied her hunger was. Billows calmed on the raging seas, and the souls of man she craved. Sun and moon from the balcony, they turned their heads in disbelief. The precious love would taste the stain, disfigured and disdain. On Friday a thief, on Sunday a king, laid down in grief for the walk with the keys to hell on that day, the firstborn of the slain, the man Jesus Christ laid death in his grave. Oh,
slept, the morning sun of righteousness arose to shame the throes of death and overturn his rule. Now daughter than the sons of men would pay not their dues again. The debt of blood day old was rent when the day rolled anew. On Friday a thief, on Sunday a king, laid down in grief, but I walk with the keys to hell on that day, the firstborn of the slain, the man Jesus Christ laid death in his grave, death in his grave. She